Welcome back to the channel and for watching these videos as always. Today we are back at the boat, and as you can see it's all very shiny and ready to go back in the water, which is tomorrow. But as you can probably hear, it's very windy, and tomorrow we've got gusts of up to 25 miles an hour, so it's going to be tricky. You can see the dust, I don't know if you've seen that blowing across the yard, but the boat has been polished to within an inch of its life. I found a few more marks as I was compounding it, so compounding the whole boat took about 9 hours, and then waxing it took another few hours. It's had 3 coats of wax. It's all been anti-fouled, and when the boat gets lifted tomorrow, anti-foul under these bits I just couldn't get. But let's go and show you what else we've been doing. So the other news is the boat that's next to me on the mooring is going to be moving because there's not a lot of space between us, so he's been given another mooring elsewhere in the club. Engine's been serviced. That was more than I was expecting, but everything's been done, from all the anodes, oil, filters, spark plugs, everything. New anodes on the trim tabs, both sides, and an anode on the stern thruster. This is actually from the manufacturer, this one, and I still had to get my 5mm mill centre out because it didn't allow enough thread to come through. So little challenges, but I'm going to just probably get a standard one next year. I've also put a D-ring on here because I didn't know my neighbour was going to be moving, but I want to be able to have a line going over the top here to a fender the other side to protect the back of the boat. You can see new name, so welcome Double Trouble as a name for the boat. If I go inside, again, this has all been oiled, greased. Another thing that I've had to do is, because with the canopy on, I just couldn't get some of the press studs to meet up, so I've got these extender pieces here, but I've had to get more press studs to put on because they come like that, which allowed too much play. So I've got some more press studs to put in so that I can make it a bit tighter. This is also new, or replaced, so the shower cap, if you can get it open. So this was broken on the other one, and I can see a little stress crack in there already. Also got the original shower head on, because the one that was in there, which is probably why the previous cap broke, was sticking out. So that's done. Let's go inside, bear 1 second. Let's go inside. So this was lovely and clean all in here, but it's all been polished, as you can probably see. Everything's gleaming, but just with coming in and out of the boat with all the dusty compound, got a little bit dirty. I haven't got a gas bottle in here just yet, but what I will do is show you some bits I've done on the front of the boat. Bear 1 second, let me just undo this. Never easy when you've got just one hand, and again I put the extenders on here as well. So as I go alongside, this has all been pressure washed, so it looks a lot cleaner hopefully. You can see that the sides are gleaming, everything is gleaming up here now. Now on the previously under here, bird crap. If you remember, there was all clay on the anchor. You can see all the grind marks. I had to physically grind all of that off, and we'll get new anchor next year. So this has all actually been cleaned out despite all the dirt. And originally, this rope was just came out, going around extension here. So D-ring in here, so I've got my bitter end in. Okay, that's probably want to change my mark chain. That's all ready to go. The whole boat is gleaming. New fenders on. And just so in case you're interested, that's my old boat there. Having lots of work done inside, being completely remodelled. Extenders back on. Something I didn't notice before is that these here are little downlighters, and down here as well, and another one just there. But this is all gleaming. If we go inside the boat, so the first thing we've had done, the hems for both these curtains have been taken up by a couple of inches because they kept getting caught in the track for the door. So that's been trimmed. All of the seating has been removed and cleaned. The whole boat has had an enormous deep clean. I mean, and it really was disgusting. It took me probably 3 full days to clean the boat. Everything is now on the boat that's mine. Again, if you remember, if you go look back at the previous videos of the boat, lots of stains everywhere. There was a couple of stains you couldn't quite get out. You can maybe just about make one out here, but everything was gone through with a large stain remover cycle. The chair, which was it was broken before, this was broken. This now, if I sit on here and show you, so now let's do it with the other hand. If I pull the lever up, that's in place and not moving anymore once I go, and then I can obviously move it and it's not moving, but it's locked in place. So I've had all this apart, oiled, so it's a nice smooth movement. I have oiled all of the bolts to secure the doors. This bottom one here is still a bit stiff, but I can live with that. The only thing I haven't got and haven't done is a mic holder to go on here or here, but I've not done that yet. What I have done though is I have registered and changed the details for the MMSI number and put it against the new boat name and with my details assigned to it now. So that's all done. That took about an hour and a half working with Ofcom because their website was particularly crappy, and the original call sign of the boat I didn't have. It was something I wasn't expecting, so I had to find that to get the MMSI number so I could then change things. Once more, everything else here has had a big deep clean. Every bit is gleaming. I also tracked down, and thank you to previous comments on one of my other videos as to what was causing the liquid to go into the bilge, and it was coming from this black pipe just there, if you can see that there, and actually that was from the hot water pressure tank. So I think excess pressure or something was forcing water into the bilge, but since I've cleaned it up again, there's been no repetition of it, and as you can see, it's gleaming again. I've got my own gear in here now. I've had all the pads out, everything works, everything again is shiny everywhere, deep clean. So we're all good to go. In terms of the cost of everything, I'm going to do a separate video on that, because I've just recently seen a video from the Aquaholic, and he was saying that his 2026 boating costs were £12,000, which for me would break the ability for me to go boating. Actually, the cost would just be a bit too prohibitive. So I'm going to look and do a breakdown of what's cost me so far. So everything I've bought to clean the boat, compound the boat, wax the boat, get the boat serviced, new fenders, new anodes, pretty much everything. Cost of my mooring compared to the Aquaholic, which you know was going to be a lot cheaper anyway, because you can see the quality of our mooring, which we repair. But I think it'll still be interesting to show you that, again, I know he has a large YouTube following, and that obviously helps pay for some bills, and again, he can provide some superior content with his day job, which I would love, by the way. But yeah, YouTube doesn't pay me anything. I don't have enough subscribers or viewers. But I still think £12,000 is a lot of money. But we're going to go through my costs in another video. But the next video you'll probably see, well, it's going to be a couple actually. One is going to be of me launching this boat. There might be a small delay for that. And the second one will be of my brother-in-law's catamaran. So you